To international students who are looking for a country they can migrate with family, point number one, they are thinking, oh, I do not want to pay tuition fee, but I want to migrate to with my family. Option number two. And if they are equally asking themselves, okay, I'm also looking for a second package, which is a citizenship, where can I get it? And can I get it maybe between 1 to 7 years, 5, 6, or 7 years? Watch this video. Now, I also want you to understand that this video is going to be about a country in Europe. Admissions is starting this next month. This next month, I'm talking about December. And again, please, like I said, if you really want to get the material, watch the video to the end. I'm equally going to talk about proof of funds so that you can start your application while also building your bank account. Because the statement you are going to use is not going to be a statement where you will just pump money inside and then you print the bank statement. No, that is not the way you are going to present the document to the visa officer when it is time. First thing first, you need to sort out universities in this particular country and then you submit an application. Like I said, admissions is starting this December, but this particular university I want to talk about is one among maybe 6 or 7. You are going to be the one to decide based on what you want to apply for. This country I'm talking about is Iceland. And Iceland is one of those top countries in Europe with a good GDP. You can do your due diligence. For me, I have done my due diligence. That is why I am here to give you the gist. Now, you need to understand that first, let's begin. If you want to apply to Iceland, I mentioned before that there is nothing like tuition fee you are going to pay, but there is something called administrative costs. Remember, this administrative cost is not a lot of money. How much is the money? It's about 75,000 Icelandic krona, which is approximately maybe 650k CFA francs. I do not know how much in euros. Please do your conversion. This money, you will only pay this money when you get admissions. Remember, this school I'm talking about doesn't mean that all the schools in this country, they are free. No, this particular one is free, which is the University of Iceland. Let me give you the requirements. I have already talked to you about, or you already know when admissions is starting. Please, if you really want to succeed with this, do your application on time. I'm also going to drop a link below. If you think you do not understand, click that link and follow up the details from the website yourself. If you think Milton is the best person to maybe give you some gist, guide you, book a call with me from the video description box. Requirements to study in Iceland include 1. If you are going for bachelor's degree, they also have PhD programs which are completely free. Bachelor's degree requirements include your international passport, your CV, your high school transcripts, a high school certificate. It depends now if you come from Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya. It depends. So you already know what you need. Possibly a motivation letter. Remember, there is an application fee you have to pay as well. So basically, you need to pay using a card. Now, you already know requirements to apply for bachelor's. Those going for master's degree, you need to show all of these documents. If you do not have maybe a high school transcript, no big issue. Just make sure that you submit your university transcript and attestation of completion of studies or your degree certificate. Now, remember, there is an English requirement, which is a compulsory thing. There is nothing like exemption. Oh, I studied in an English country. If you are thinking like that, then I want to tell you that your admissions will hang in the air. But if you have IELTS band score or IELTS with band score 6.5, with all the sections being 6 and above, then every section, I mean the sub scores, being 6 and above, then you are good to go. Check for the programs in this university. They have bachelor's degree programs in English, so you can study. Then they also have masters in English. Those with HND, you cannot get masters with HND in this school. If you have HND, please apply for bachelor's. Those with WAEC and NECO, you cannot use direct WAEC if it is not very strong, maybe 11, 8, 9, 10 papers with maybe A grades or better grades. If you have WAEC and you have maybe a national diploma or a PGD or something, add it to it and apply for bachelor's. If you must go for masters, make sure you have a bachelor's already, good score, and also a master's degree. If you have a master's degree, you want to do another master's, fantastic. Remember, the University of Iceland is saying that, not Milton. You need to have at least a 7.25 on 10 score for your results before you can apply. Now, from my investigation, that 7.25 on 10 is equivalent to like 3.2 GPA on 4. For those who have a scale on 5, I may not know. Please do your conversion. Now, you know the requirements. There are so many programs at the University of Iceland, and I want to tell you that as soon as you get admission, please begin visa process. While you are applying now, make sure you build your account. Especially if you want to move with family, you need a lot of money because you would be applying for the visa alongside the residence permit. I have a lot of videos on the channel explaining these processes. If there is any updates, I'm going to bring it back to you. Now, remember, I mentioned something about residency. If you want to get a passport and become an Icelandic citizen, then you have to live in Iceland for 7 years. Remember, this 7 years does not mean you are only going to be staying in Iceland. You can move out, okay, but do not let 3 months pass you by. Let's say you traveled back home. You have to be back in Iceland maybe 1 month maximum. Don't let 90 days pass you home. When you apply for Iceland, like I said, they have a very short, I think the application deadline is going to be closing by February. Make sure you have submitted your application. There should be an opportunity for you to submit more than one application. Before you submit your application, read the website of the school very well. There are several degree programs that you can go in for. It is now left for you to read and make sure you meet academic requirements, language requirements, departmental requirements. These things are very important. Do not say, oh, Milton, I didn't know. No, Milton is telling you now so that you prepare and apply. I have said again, if you do not have IELTS, do not waste your energy. It is not a joke, guys. I'm telling you real life. Now, to those who are thinking, remember, admissions is going to be competitive. Now, to those who are saying, oh, maybe I do not know what to do, like I said, a link will be below. They have several degree programs. I do not want to talk about all of these. They also have language courses. Remember, if you want to study Spanish, Japanese, Turkish, Dutch, you also need to prove to them that you also have basic knowledge about these languages. Or if you want to study Icelandic, you also need to be conscious of the website of that particular program. This is not a joke. This is heads up so that you know what you are doing, because I want you to get the admissions and then utilize or benefit from the free tuition opportunity. After you get admissions, the next stage is visa application. Somebody was saying somewhere that he doesn't know where the Iceland embassy is. There is Icelandic Migration Agency or Icelandic Immigration. Check it online. Follow my videos. You are going to know where to click. I usually put all the links in the video description box. It is now your duty to check all of that. Now, let's take a look at how much you need after you get admissions to Iceland. If you have a question, please drop it in the comment section. How much do you need? If you are moving alone, if you are moving with family, it depends on the number of individuals. I'm going to break it down. Remember, you must meet academic requirements, or let's say requirements, if you really want to move to Iceland. Remember, your results must be 7.25 on 10 according to Icelandic scale before you begin application, and you must have your IELTS. I refer to Iceland as the land of volcanoes. I think I should be visiting Iceland next year. However, there are documents that you need to show. Remember, this part of the video is about proof of funds. I need to tell you so before you apply, you prepare your mind. You can move with family. Now, you need your passport. You also need your certificate, birth certificates I'm talking about here. You also need marriage certificate if you intend to migrate with family. In addition to these documents, you also need health insurance and criminal records. I'm going to talk about that later on. And now, let's talk about the breakdown of the proof of funds. If you are moving alone, if you are moving as a couple, you and your wife, or you and your husband, or if you are moving as a family, you, your wife, and your child, or you and your husband and your child. The first option is if you are moving alone as a student after getting admissions to study in Iceland. Remember, I said before that you need to, let's say you get admissions at the University of Iceland. which does not charge a tuition, right? All you need to pay is the administrative cost, and then you now get to prepare your bank statement. Start saving now after listening to me. Let's begin with you. Individuals, if you are going alone to Iceland, after your admissions, you need to either show proof of funds for 6 months or 1 year. I will recommend 1 year, one academic year, because 6 months is dangerous. You can be rejected and you can be given a residence permit for 6 months, which means after expiring, you have to renew again. To me, it's going to cost you a lot of money. That's why I keep telling people that if you want to move abroad and now your passport is left 2 years, it's better to get a new passport. So you don't move to Iceland and start running up and down looking for where to renew your passport, which will cost you money because you are not spending your home country's money now. You are not spending money in Iceland or in euros. You will see. Now, as an individual, you need to show the Icelandic immigration that you have 247,572 Icelandic krona per month. And if you get admissions, you need to show them this money for 1 year. For 1 year, in euros, the money, this 247,572 Icelandic krona to euros is 1,737, plus or minus, it depends, right? Now, you need to multiply by 12. If you multiply by 12, you should get 20,000 euros, 844 euros. Let's say 20,844 euros, right? And if you look at this money in CFA francs, you are going to get 13,737,628, plus or minus approximately, right? This is the money you need to show as proof of funds to study in Iceland for yourself alone. It must reflect on the bank statement, and trust me, this is going to be verified. Don't go and do something at the Malingo Junction or in Bastos, somewhere in the street, and think you will get a visa. They are going to verify. Be conscious about this. I'm telling you this so you plan now in case you want to move to this country. Don't go and start doing something late when you get admissions. Let's say you apply and before the deadline, February, you get admission, March ending, and you begin visa application in June. Then what happens to those who started in March ending at April? It means at the end of the day, if you don't get visa, you can't blame anybody. So that is for you alone. If you want to move, you and your spouse, husband and wife, the two of you, you need to show Icelandic immigration 396,115 Icelandic krona per month. And for one academic year, this money is going to be 33,348 euros. And in CFA francs, it's going to be 21,980,184 francs CFA. Now, this is for you too, okay? Not you alone. You, the two of you, husband and wife or spouse. Now, if you decide that, okay, let us take our child, maybe you have a son or you have a daughter, let's move together to Iceland. Then, for an additional person, remember your own budget for the two of you is already 33,348 euros. If you want to add your daughter now or son, you need to show Icelandic immigration 123,786 Icelandic krona, which is approximately 868 euros times 12. That money is going to give you 10,416 euros. And to CFA francs is going to be like 6.8 million CFA francs. Now, this is the breakdown that you need, okay? Now, let's look at it. If you are moving alone, you, the student, and your daughter or son, just the two of you, it means you need to show 20,844 euros plus that amount for the child, which was how much? 10,416. If you, as a couple, husband and wife, you are moving with your son or daughter, one child, okay, you need to show 33,348 euros plus 10,416 euros. So basically, this is the total that you need. So now that you know the total, the next thing you need to do is to go to work. Look at the programs on the University of Iceland's website, and then you plan yourself now. And again, there are several universities in Iceland. I think there are about 6 more you can check. There is the University of Reykjavik, University of Bifrost University, I think University of Agriculture in Reykjavik. There are many. I don't just want to go into those details now. But this school is cheap. So if you prepare now, look at your credentials. If your credentials are not enough. If it's not up to 7.25, please look at other countries. Okay, not everybody can relocate to Iceland. That's why I keep telling you people that you have to open your tentacles, right? So you have all the details now. For the other documents, you are not going to get a physical. Like I said, Iceland visa is through the Norwegian embassy. Again, follow Icelandic migration agency online and get all the details. My name is Milton Fonkwa. I'm a Cameroonian student and I reside in the Netherlands. See you guys in Iceland.